Ay, hello.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Thank you for having me tonight as your speaker. How are you, sir? Mag-share screen na, okay? Share screen na, okay? Maya na.
I'm fine, sir. Sir, give a short description about yourself, then you can run the
Ah,
program.
I'm Arnold Agligar from the Philippines. I am currently teaching at Subic National High School, Junior High School Department, Grade 10, SPA program. Oo nga, nawawala na siya. Ay, naka-live na ako. Ah, hello. Yeah, ayan. Wala pa naman siyang introduction. Hello everybody, welcome to IGP.
Sir, you can start the presentation.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so happy Saturday everyone. A pleasant day and I am teacher Arnie from the Philippines. I am a public junior high school teacher from Subic National High School, Schools Division of Zambales, and from the Special Program the Arts program. So I am very grateful and thankful to IGP in providing us this platform to share our work uh, this evening. Okay, so let me share now my slides for this scholarly activity. Okay. Okay, can you see now my slide? Sir Mike, wala yung slide ko. Why? Bakit? Oh, wala? Ah, share screen. Tama? Share screen and then entire screen. Ay, wala pa, Mike. Why? What happened? Okay. So I have now my screen. So at this point, yeah. Kita na, Mike? Okay. Okay. So once again, a pleasant day to each and everyone. So now we will have my talk about creative writing. So but before we proceed on my presentation or my discussion, let's have a simple stretching exercise that you can do or that we can do during online sessions like this. Okay, so I want you to follow the following stretching exercises. Okay, so first we have to pull down our head down to our chin for 8 seconds. Okay, let's start. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then let's pull our head up, okay, for 8 seconds again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then now our head to our left shoulder. Okay, ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And next to our right shoulder. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then now let's move our head to the left sideward. Go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then to our right side. Okay, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So these are simple stretching exercises that we can do for us to you know be ready for the activity. Okay, so how are you feeling? Are you ready to have our session uh this evening? Okay, let's do this. So our topic for today focuses on the introduction of creative writing. So this topic will give us different details or information on what is creative writing, what are the importance and benefits of creative writing, not just for ourselves, okay, but also we can use these benefits and importance to our students as well. At the same time, I will give you some tips on how to become a good creative writer. Okay, so these informations are very important uh, to our students as well. Okay, so before we proceed on my topic or our first slide, let me share with you this quotation. Okay, so writing is the painting of the voice. So what does it mean? So as the saying goes, the creative writing is an artwork that gives our voice the power to inspire and express oneself through writing. It is very evident that as we read different stories, poems, books, as well as watching films or plays, it gives us a different feeling. The feeling of characterization, the feeling of making us part of the piece of art in writing. Okay, so Do you love to read? Are you a certified readaholic? Do you love having quality time reading books or novels in one corner? So, what are your favorite books? Do you write poems in your leisure time? Okay, are you fond of watching movies or films? Or how about watching plays or theaters or stage plays? Okay, I'm asking you these questions because these are some of the magnificent and fascinating work of arts through writing. And maybe after this session, we can give, or I can give you the the importance of or the feeling of or the power of imagination to ignite your passion in writing and inspire others to express their imaginative and creative mind in this form of art. Okay. So, are you familiar with this book, which is the Harry Potter? How about this, the Odyssey by Homer? How about this, very kuwela in Filipino type of word, yung lakumpake from Senyora? How about this short story, The Necklace? Or this poem, All Things Bright and Beautiful? And this play, The Odyssey. Okay, are you familiar with this? I guess we're all familiar with this form of arts. Okay, so now let's proceed on our topic. So, what is creative writing? Okay. Creative writing is a form of writing that encompasses a number of different genres and styles outside the more formal scope of technical writing or academic writing. Creative writing takes an imaginative, embellished, or outside the box approach to its subject matter. In other words, original writing that expresses ideas and thoughts in any imaginative way. So in any instances, creative writings makes you step out of the reality and into a new realms that inspired by your own imagination. With creative writing, you are able to express feelings and emotions instead of cold, hard facts as you would in academic writing. So there are different type of writing. Creative writing can be technically considered any writing of original composition. In this sense, creative writing is a more contemporary and process-oriented name for what is being traditionally called literature, including the variety of its genres. Okay, so creative writing is very important. uh, the characteristic that we need is imagination, the power of imagination. Your imagination starts to flow when you engage in creative writing. The majority of writing by far is creative. Okay? With it, you can pretend anything you want and help a potential reader to do the same. So, creative writing is an art of sorts, the art of making things up. It's writing done in a way that is not academic or technical, but still attracts an audience. Though the definition is rather loose, creative writing can be more for the part to be considered any writing that is original and self-expressive. A newsletter or a news article, for example, cannot be considered as creative writing because they are not considered as creative writing because its main goal is to present facts and not to express the feelings of the writer. While the article can be entertaining, its main purpose is to present the facts. Okay? How about for our students? How can we uh, engage creative writing to their studies? For our students, often they are very uh, they do not have this feeling of sharing their ideas. No, they have this feeling of difficulty to understand and express their feelings. And writing can be an extremely useful tool for self-expression. So let your student write. So give them the freedom to write anything they want, for them to express their feelings or ideas. Okay. And writing can be, creative writing can help children explore and learn about their feelings. And it can be very helpful in expressing them. Writing gives children a safe place to explore and can be very useful tool for expressing their feelings, as what I've said. So creative writing is not only a tool to help students unleash their creativity and feel more comfortable writing about their everyday life. Okay, but it has also been shown to improve language learning. So creative writing is not just the sort of writing, but also they express their feelings, as well as they uh, they have this improvement in language learning. So creative writing's assignment allows the students to discover their personality, express themselves artistically, use their imagination, and discover their writing style. So these are the benefits that our student can get when they indulge themselves in creative writing. They're not just expressing themselves, but also uh, they can have a wide imagination that they can use in writing. Okay? So the question now is that why do we need to engage ourselves in creative writing? What is the purpose of this in our life? Okay. There are numerous motives as why someone would want to express a thought, opinion, or facts on other individuals through words. So creative writing can be used for entertainment, informative, or persuasive purposes. This type of writing can also be used to convey an emotion. Okay, so what are the purpose of creative writing? Okay, first, to entertain people. So entertainment is defined as the action or performance made to amuse or give enjoyment to others. It may be used to bring mystery, suspense, comedy, or drama. So movie scripts, and short stories, especially of a fictional nature, are a few examples of where entertainment purposes are used by the author for their audience. So what people need to realize is that writing can be deep, painful experience, or it can be an enjoyable experience. So we can have different subjects in writing. It can be our painful experiences, happy experiences, or anything under the sun. Your imagination is your limit. Okay? Either way, it is a process that can allow reflection of the self or what the author sees. So as what I said a while ago, it is our form of self-expression. Okay? A good writer is someone who can evoke emotion and treat conflict in a story. So there are times that when you read a book, a story, or we watch movies or a play, uh, if the story is good and there is characterization, so our feelings is attached on it. Okay, we can say that, oh, that's a very good book. I love the story of this book because our emotion was touched by the story as well. Okay? Creative writing can also be used in plays or films because it helps the writer to get into the heads of the characters and get a feel for what they felt, which he can then convey from reader to reader or who may have a similar experience because the writer was able to successfully express your thoughts on paper. Sometimes the experiences of the author or the writer is the same on what our experiences. Okay? So there is a connection from the author and the audience. Number two, share human experience. So what's this share human experience? Human experience is a term for the realities of human existence. It includes our mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical characteristics of human life. Okay? To put it simply, there are experiences we go through by ourselves, or and there are those that we can go through with other people as a group. Individual human experiences are personal experiences from the beginning to the actual process and the final result. There are individual experiences that we encounter naturally as part of our growing process, such as the experience of going to school and making meaningful connections with our friends. On the other hand, there are individual experiences that we deliberately seek to achieve, such as the thrill of skydiving or signing up for singing and dancing lesson. While some actively expose themselves to as many experiences as possible, others limit the experiences because they are more comfortable in a familiar setting. So there is no right or wrong, and both are examples of individual human experience. So when we say human experience, this is our daily, day-to-day experiences. We're happy, we're sad, we have our friends with us, and then enjoying moments with them. So those are experiences that we can share to each and everyone. In writing, one of the elements that set purpose of entertainment is its commentary on the human condition. The human experience in literature contains themes about life and society that are relatable to others. So that is why, as what I've said a while ago, the author may connect based on the experiences that is relatable to each and everyone. Okay? So that is the power of creative writing. Example of human experience that we can use for our writings are, okay, parent and relationship, death, loneliness, conformity, growing up, aging, human rights, charity, equality, and materialism. So these are the subject or the experiences that we can use in creative writing. It's up to you on how you will make this subject or experiences relatable to others. So you may play on how you will create or write your story. Okay? So number 3, we have way of creative expression. We are all writers in our own different ways. Okay? Do you believe on that? Yes, of course, we are all creative writers. Although many of us may have doubts about writing. So sometimes we will have this feeling of doubt. Am I a good writer? Okay. The truth is that we are all writers. Writing is a talent that we are all capable of having with practice. Okay, patience and becoming more comfortable with our writing style. Even the best writers are not born with all their talents, but develop them through writing more and sharing their writings with others. So that's why we have to practice our writing. Okay, we have to keep on practicing so that we can create a very beautiful work of arts. Okay? So when we write, we are able to express ourselves more freely than any other forum. Writing can become a way to teach someone about your point of view, okay, to share your feelings or even just to write about your day. When it comes to writing, the important concept of to remember is uh, we have uh, to remember what are the experiences that we want to share to other people. Okay? It does not matter what you are writing about, but rather you are doing so. By just taking time to write a little each day, you will begin to see the connection between writing and self expression, the expressing of your own feelings. Okay? So we don't have to stop writing. We have to continue practicing. We have to to continue exploring different avenues of our lives, different experiences, so that we can have different ideas that we can share to our readers. Okay, many people find writing helps to release their innermost feelings. that they would otherwise have to contain inside. So sometimes there are people who are not vocal with their own feelings or emotions. So some of us would love to write our feelings or to express our emotions. So we have different type of expressing ourselves. Okay, example are the spoken word or spoken poetry. Prose and creative writing are all ways to express self and what you are experiencing. Writing down and performing your thoughts can serve to transform the intangibility of your emotions and experiences into something more. So one of the best way for us to express our opinion and point of view is through an essay. Okay, a short piece of writing in a particular subject. Okay, so when we say essay, there is a certain topic and then you're going to expound that topic based on your own experience or words. Okay? So you can inject different words that is connected on the topic, your experiences, your point of views, your thoughts, or your opinions. Okay? When writing an essay, it is very important to choose a topic that you have experience and background with, so that you can have a good point of view that you can inject on that kind of topic. Okay, so that your readers can relate on that. Okay, so those are the purpose of creative writing. So now let's move on with the forms of creative writing. So there are different forms of creative writing. So what are those? Forms of creative writing. Okay, first, okay, uh, words offer us countless of possibilities. In the telling of our stories, we may focus on why we love someone, what draws us to a location, or why something is beautiful. Often, our stories take a particular narrative line, focusing on a direct theme or idea. It is important that that we evaluate our own story. Okay? What I mean by this is that we are using the right medium to drive our story to the furthest it can go. So there are different forms of fictional forms of creative writing. First from the list is fiction writing. So what is fiction writing? Oh, sorry. Fiction writing is a narrative writing that involves elements of plot and character created entirely by the author, which is based on real world events and real people. Example of this is when you're writing mysteries, science fiction, romance, fantasy, and crime. Thrillers are all fiction genres. Second, we have the creative non-fiction writing. So this genre incorporates different creative writing techniques and literary styles to convey truthful, non-fictional narratives. This form of storytelling employs the creative writing techniques of literature, such as poetry and fiction to tell a true story. Creative nonfiction use a writer use craft and technique to situate the reader into their own personal lives. Example of these are memoir and personal essay. Third form of creative writing is screenwriting. Screenwriting is the act of writing that is known as a script or screenplay for films, television, and web series. Writing the script is part of the pre-production process. Once it is written, it will be edited and passed into the director. The script includes all essential information such as the setting of each scene and dialogue. Screenplays, however, are more like blueprints. And given that film is a highly collaborative medium, it will go through many changes and rewrites before shooting begins. Okay, so screenwriting, are you going to make a script and then you will give it to your director. They will browse that and they can edit or rewrite everything about the uh, the script. Okay, next is the playwriting. Playwriting is a form of creative writing that is meant to be performed live on stage. So that is the difference between the screenwriting and playwriting. Because in playwriting, they're using this form of writing in a stage play. Okay, playwriting is the art of writing a script for a play or drama. Successful playwriting depends not only on dialogue, but on intelligent plotting, credible characterization, and the ability to develop a theme. Unlike writing for film, playwriting is completely free form. It allows more creativity and interpretation of eliminates rules. Stage play are dialogue driven, while screenplays rely on images to tell the story and express characters. As the writer try to determine if your story can be told with mostly visual or if dialogue is the most important storytelling device. In playwriting, it is meant to be performed by the actors exactly as it is written. Actors and directors may not change any dialogue to improvise lines. What the playwright has written is said to be set in stage. Okay. Next, we have the poetry writing. This is form of creative writing that conveys a thought, describes a scene, or tells a story in concentrated lyrical arrangement of words. Poems can be structured with rhyming lines, stanzas, and meter. The rhythm and emphasis of the line based on syllabic beats. Poems can also be free form, which follows no formal structure. Poetry has been around for almost 4,000 years. Like other forms of literature, poetry is written to share ideas, express emotions, and create imagery. Poets choose words of further meaning, and acoustics arranging them to create a tempo known as meter. Some poems incorporate rhyme schemes with two or more lines that end in like sounding words. So those are the different forms of creative writing. So now let's have the different types of creative writing. Okay, types of creative writing. Creative writing isn't just limited to novel, short stories, and poems. In fact, this type of writing encompasses a list of a dozen different types, such each suited to specific situation and kinds of personal expression. Okay, so let's have the different types of creative writing. Okay, first is poetry. Next, we have plays. We also have movie and television scripts, fiction novels, novellas and short stories, songs, speeches, memoirs, and personal essays. So these are the different types of creative writing. Okay, so let's have now the types of writing that are not that aren't creative writing. So we have the academic writing, journalism, technical writing, and textbooks. These are not considered as creative writing because they are a type of writing that is very formal, precise, and reliant upon facts. Okay, so that they are not considered as creative writing. Okay, so the benefits of creative writing. Okay. So what are the benefits of creative writing? First, we have it improves self-expression. Okay, improving your writing skills leads to stronger communication. When you practice finding the right word in a story or poem, you engage the same parts of your brain that are active in everyday writing and speaking. A creative writing course subconsciously turns you into a more effective communicator. The importance of precise language and self-advocacy translate well into both interpersonal relationship and working environments. Take it take it from this expert on how writing and self-advocacy results in career and leadership success. So when we engage ourselves in creative writing, it will give ourselves the freedom to express ourselves. At the same time, it will improve our way of speaking, our way of uh, delivering our point of views and the likes. Second, second is job success. In reality, almost every job requires some sort of written work, where that simple written communication or something more elaborate, like publishing data or marketing materials. In creative writing class, you practice the style and grammar rules necessary for effective writing. Both written the realms of literature and in career-related writing. Sharpening your writing and creativity skills might just land you to your next promotion. Okay. Next, we have improved thinking skills. Strong writing leads you to strong thinking, no matter what type of writing you pursue. Learning how to write is another form of learning how to think. How would you think about things like justice, revenge, or equality without the words to express them? When you hone in your own ability to find choice, specific words, and when you work on the skills of effective storytelling and rhetoric, you improve your ability to think in general. Good writing yields great thinking. So when you write, uh, you will think of different things, subjects, and then you're going to expound those subjects in your own creative way. Next, empathy. Sorry. Empathy, reading and writing both rely on empathy, especially when it comes to being an effective workshop participant. When we read and write stories, we situate ourselves in the shoes of other people. When we read and write poetry, we let language navigate us through emotion. The importance of creative writing relies on empathy as well. We practice empathy whenever we listen to another person's life story. When someone tells us about their day, and when we sit down with a client or work with partner, when we write, we practice the ability to listen as well as to speak, making us more effective communicator and more compassionate human being. And five, it is fun. In case you are not convinced that writing course is right for you, let's clarify one more fact. Okay? Creative writing is fun. Yes, indeed. Writing is it's a form of self-expression that leads you to a more creative person. Okay? When you're in a fiction writing course, starting a memoir, crafting a poem, or writing for a silver screen, you're creating new words and characters. In the sandbox of literature, you're in control. And when you invest yourself into the craft of writing, something beautiful emerges. Okay? So that is, or those are the benefits of creative writing. Okay, now let's have okay uh, the different tips that we can use in creative writing. Okay, creative writing tips and techniques. Okay. Okay. If you feel you have a story inside you and you want to unleash that story, it may seem as simple as sitting down, pulling up a blanket or a blank document and letting it all flow. But sometimes that blank document can be intimidating. There are different writing techniques that we can use as well as to our students as if they want to begin their creative writing journey. First is be an avid reader. Okay. Wait. Okay, so it's very important that we have to read a lot of books. Reading all types of writing of books can spark our ideas of imagination. The more you read fiction and creative nonfiction, the more you'll naturally adapt their natural rhythm and flow. It is a lot harder to get the hang of creative writing if you don't have any references. Okay, notable writers throughout history have penned excellent examples of well-written creative work that should be required reading for any budding creative writer. Read famous books by great writers in plenty of genres to get a feel for where your interests may lie. So, reading different kinds of books will give you a lot of ideas. Sometimes you may use those books as your references, as well as you may use those books as your backbone in creating your stories. Okay. Next is keep an idea book. Okay. So what does it mean? Inspiration for creative writing can strike at any moment. Be prepared with a notebook dedicated to ideas or even a notes application on your phone. When you periodically browse your ideas, you might find that combining a couple of seemingly unrelated ideas sparks a new piece of writing. So sometimes, uh, as we s- as we uh, as we browse on our surroundings, we can have different ideas in mind. Okay, we can create different ideas, or we can explore different things out of nowhere. Also, it's very important that we have our notebook that we can jot down our experiences or ideas that comes out into our mind. Okay, so it is a natural sparks of idea. Okay. Ideas that pop up in your mind can be a basis for your writing. Even bad ideas as well can spark good ones. And you never know that when you trigger these ideas, you can create a better writing skills, or you can create a good story as well. Keep a notepad or download an app for that, so that every time you have an idea, you can insert it or jot it down to your notepad. Okay, and you can browse that in the next day, or in a moment that you have your time to create your own story or poem. Next, ask what if questions. To tap in your creativity, ask yourself questions that starts with what if. Okay, for example, what if dogs and cats are best friends? What if I have wings? What if I am a superhero? On that, you can now write your own story. Okay? So doing these what if questions will give you the good idea, or you can have a good subject for your writing. Okay. Next is write with abandon. If you have an idea for a story, sit down and start typing without editing as you go. Just let your ideas flow out of your mind, and after the story is out in your head and into the screen, then you can now consider revising. So when you write a story or anything, a poem or whatsoever, just write it down. Okay? Just type, and then right after that, you may now revise that in your most simplest way. Okay, because you have a lot of idea coming out in your mind, and you want to express that to writing, and then after that you may browse that again, read that again, so that you can now revise. Okay. Next is that proofread and edit out of fluff. Now it's time for you to proofread or edit. Even though your work is meant to be creative and original, it should still allow or follow standard writing rules. A writer rarely gets it right in the first draft. Okay? So we cannot say that on your first writing that is successful. No. There is room for improvement. You may have the flexibility with your own content, but don't be afraid to strip away the fluff or the bad ideas or anything. Eliminate what doesn't work, or in some cases, completely start over. If you think that your poem is not good, or your story is not good, so you have to change that. Okay, and start over again. Storytelling and world building take a lot of time and thinking, and only through writing you will be able to craft a version that works best. So those are the tips and techniques that we can use for ourselves as we continue, or uh, as we indulge ourselves in creative writing, and we can use these tips also in our students as they indulge themselves also in creative writing. So those are the tips that we can use. Okay, so before I end my presentation, let me remind everybody this quote from Albert Einstein. Creativity is intelligence having fun. So thank you once again to the IGP for giving me this opportunity to share this topic, and happy writing everyone. Mabuhay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful presentation.
Okay, thank you.
I hope our participant also helpful from your presentation. So we will meet together in our question and answer session. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Dear participants, let's welcome our another speaker from Philippines. Let's welcome our speaker. Hello, sir. Good evening.
Hello, sir. Good evening. Hi, hello. My name is Sir Mike Damaso, and I'm one of your today's guest speaker. And I'm from the Philippines, and I'm teaching visual arts, and I'm also a teacher from Subic National High School, a public school in Subic, Zambales, Philippines. Good evening, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
So you can start your presentation now.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Okay, so where it is. So I'm just waiting for the share tab to control. Okay, where's the share screen tab?
Dear participants, let's welcome our speaker, Sir Mike Damaso from Philippines.
Thank you, sir. It's not yet working. Okay, entire screen. So by the way, my focus is all about digital arts, and I'm just waiting for the tab share to connect with my screen. It's not working. Use the tab screen. Cancel it first, and then I'm just going to share screen. Okay. Just doing it again. Share screen, and it's not yet working, sir.
No, sir, your screen is not sharing.
Yes, sir. I'm just waiting for the share tab to go to. Okay, so what happened? So share screen. It's not yet working, the share screen. I'm just waiting for the share tab to open this PowerPoint presentation, sir. I just have a having hard time here. But so okay, so cancel, and then share screen, share system. Window.
Can I help you, sir, to share the screen?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir, please firstly open your PowerPoint.
Yes, sir. I already opened my PowerPoint presentation.
Then from estimate, you click on share.
Yes, sir. Share screen, then
Then
entire
share
screen.
screen. Yes, sir. Then you can click on your PowerPoint and then
Okay,
click
sir.
on share.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. It's already here, sir. I'm
No
sorry for
problem.
just a delay with my PowerPoint presentation.
No
It's
problem, sir.
just
It's okay.
okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Make it presentation mode.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Can you see my presentation, sir?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so hi, hello. My name is Sir Mike Damaso, and I'm one of your today's guest speaker, aside from Sir Arnie Agligara. So I'll be talking about digital arts for educational purposes, and I'd like to thank you for coming to our event and taking time to watch our presentation, as well as the Institute of Global Professionals for giving us this opportunity to talk about educational purposes and education and arts. I just wanted to express my gratitude also for the opportunity to be one of your speakers. So I hope that the information that I am sharing with you today will be useful in our future careers as professionals, and particularly in the fields of arts education. Okay, so part of my presentation will teach us about the details of digital arts and education. It will also help us determine the topic's thoughts and vision all about the impact of digital arts on teaching and learning, and benefits of digital arts in education, the role of digital arts in learning. We may also know some types of digital arts and explore some works of digital artists as an inspiration for our students and as teachers, and simply a process in using digital tools or applications to make a digital art. And let me first introduce to you the concept of digital arts and some ideas all about it. So when we say digital art, it is a relatively new form of artistic expression that makes use of new image and film technologies. And some artists create art with materials such as paints and brushes. Many other today's use modern brushes or modern means of exploration or of creativity such as video technology, television, and computers. And this is referred to us as the digital art. Okay. So now let us have this one. So digital art is work created with or displayed on digital technology. And of course, this includes images from entirely on a computer as well as a hand-drawn images scanned into computer and finished with software such as Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Photoshop, animation and 3D, virtual sculpture, renderings, as well as the projects that combine virtual ideas, multiple technologies, which are examples of digital art. Video image manipulation is also used in some digital art. And just a brief history of the digital art, it was coined in the 1980s to refer to an early computer painting program. So it is a method of art making that leads itself to a multimedia format because it is potentially be viewed in many ways, including on TV and internet and computers and multiple social media platforms. In a nutshell, digital art is also a hybrid of art and technology. It opens a plethora of new avenues for artistic expression. And then, so digital arts education has become more common in schools in advancements and increased access to technology. Although it's a relatively new medium for arts teachers and students, it has been around in the world for quite some time. In fact, in 1965, the one of the first major exhibitions of computer took place. As technology advances, digital art has taken over a variety of new forms. The exploration of digital media as a form of expression by artists, on the other hand, has remained consistent. This also applies to your students. Why not include digital art in our lesson plans? It's a medium that our students will feel attracted and going forward into. So it's so amazing that despite having grown up with technology, students still have so much to learn. So of course, creativity should always comes first, but technology can play an uh, important supporting role. So allowing your students to explore both their artistic and technical or technological side can open a world of possibilities. And then let us have this one. So for now, technology is now an essential component of teaching and learning. Modern learning tools have made 24/7 education possibility, increase students' engagement, and exponentially accelerated knowledge and technology that has great impact today in times of having changes in the school process of learning because it's pandemic. Let us also investigate the impact of the digital arts on teaching and learning. Okay, so we have the impact of digital arts on teaching and learning. By combining traditional, newer approaches to learning, digital tools enable students to develop artistic creativity and enable all students or all subjects to be treated in new ways. For example, digital art allows students to select from a wider range of colors of more quickly and efficiently than traditional ones. Digital art also be used an alternative form of expression for students who struggle with a lot of traditional drawing skills. Then according to research, students who use digital tools are more successful in developing their understanding, especially when working in collaboration with others. In modern times, digital arts and teaching is we all know a good favor as to us specifically pandemic is happening, there are pros and cons, but all that we have to focus is on the transfer of learning that we are tasked as one of the arts teachers. So these digital arts impacts uh, are a reflection of what we have to impart. So we must also adapt as educators digitally for the purpose of creativity and learning with ease and attempting to at least give our effort or 100% effort to sustain their educational needs. And then the impact of digital arts on teaching and learning again is that digital drawing method can also be used as a teaching aid, allowing quickness and clarity, and that digital art is accessible for all students. And gone are the days when learning to paint, sculpt, or draw by hands was the main focus of arts education. So education in the modern art class receive a traditional foundation, but they are also as likely to create on paper with pencils or brushes as they are with computers. Uh, okay, so digital art is always accessible to students, of course. Okay, digital arts becomes a saving grace for teachers who found themselves unable to lead their classes in person from the previous years. While a pandemic forced educators in other fields to shift their traditional hands-on classroom activities online, many in the arts community will already familiar with the digital technologies required to succeed. So digital art is accessible for all students. For instance, for example, teacher Sansdrome had never heard of the internet before she started teaching 30 years ago. She wouldn't leave the house without her tablet in 2021 or 2022, for example. She discovers new digital arts tools almost every day, and that, as she describes it, her most recent obsessions including having her students create a lot of breathing bubbles in their screens and word cloud art using online arts as tools like Adobe Photoshop, and we also have the Google Drawings. So the number one goal of every school is having social emotional learning, and we use the green screen or the applications and other digital tools to encourage positive self-talk or creating a truthful GIF for someone else. So and that nothing beats getting on the computer and doing art or doing some art when you need to escape stressful thoughts and be in the magical present moment. Okay, so creativity flourishes in remote and classroom environments. Art lessons introduce K to 12 students to problem-solving techniques that allows them to see the world in the new ways, and give them access to creative ways of knowing. So children discover how art can help them express themselves and may become interested in creating increasingly realistic depictions and learning new techniques. And then by high school, young artists can think critically about their own work as well as the work of others, developing distinct point of view and a sense of community with other creative people. So another example is teacher De La Cruz says she's taught both in person and online classes in the last year. Her favorite technologies, she says, provide someone a sketchbook. They think I am not are artists, and they have all these limiting beliefs. But when the students was shown an illustration applications like IBIS Paint, Lepla Clip, Procreate, or Doink, they get so excited. Like, I can do this, and student really did their part as a young artist. Okay, so now we are going to talk about the benefits of digital learning in education. Students of all ages are sketching, drawing, and painting on tablets and phones. That technology, according to our teachers, is foreign students' 21st century learning skills. Even better, it is increasing student participation in an arts, science, technology, engineering, art, and math spaces. Okay, and now let us learn some benefits on digital arts in the classroom. So traditional arts, materials, and techniques will always have a place in, of course, in the K to 12 art classes. The key is to strike the balance between tried and true and technological integration such as free downloadable applications or students' existing devices. And here are some of the advantages for both teachers and students. At increased access, although not every student has a set of watercolors or acrylic paints at home, many students have access to a digital device such as an iPad, a smartphone, an Android device. Sure, devices aren't cheap at first, but when compared to the number of consumable tubes of oil painting an artist might buy in a year, the one-time technology purchase makes sense. And yes, technology wears out and must be replaced, but so though paintbrush and canvases also can be replaced every year or after using. So we also have convenience. It's not always easy to carry around all of the art supplies. You will need to create as you see fit. It's not always practical to carry around a plain air painting setup or cup of water for watercolor. It can be inconvenient. It is a relatively easy to create with a digital medium. So it can be convenient, of course. So you can take your device almost anywhere, your cell phones or a tablets, and it's always ready to use when you are going to use it. So we have also instant shareability because digital art creation is already stored on our digital devices. Artists can always share their work in most polished form. Work can be instantly shared digitally on websites and through social media. So a photograph or painting may not always be do the physical features of the painting justice, but it can convey the overall idea. And of course, it increases productivity. And digital creation saves time, and if you make a mistake while creating a digital drawing or painting, it simply press the undo button to start all over. And you can erase without leaving a trace in a digital creation. And you can always change colors quickly and position the real size or the resize the objects in seconds. You are not constrained by the physical characteristics of the material world. So when we have the benefits for the traditional art making methods, we must also understand that disadvantages of traditional art making methods in order to see the link between uh, traditional and digital ideas. So these are the benefits of traditional art making methods. Hands-on experiences. Learning to manipulate a paintbrush to create various paint strokes or carving tools to create a sculpture provides a physical, tactile experience. And then this experience broaden your understanding of how materials can be used. The physical creation is beneficial to both hand-eye coordination and motor skills, and mixing yellow and blue will turn into green to paint to make a green is an experience that cannot be replicated digitally, I think. And that we have also unique piece. Traditional artworks are difficult to reproduce due to their handmade nature, and unlike digital creation which can be replicated and shared instantly, each creation is truly one of a kind. So as a result of the traditional art pieces, typically more valuable than digital art pieces as we see in the different museums. And then it increased versatility. So digital is only one medium, whereas traditional art methods allow you to work with a variety of methods. Creating an image with graphite versus with pigmented paint will result in different outcomes and that experiences. So digital art creation typically results in a single look of a clean, finished product, whereas using different art materials does not. And then we also have this force problem solving. So mistakes, unlike the undo button on the digital, are not always easily erased. This constraint forces an artist to problem solve their solution in order to physically correct their error. Better yet, it encourages an artist to stop making those mistakes, and as a result, improve their skills in their artwork. So now let's look at how we can start incorporating digital arts into our lesson. Since the tradition introduction of personal computers, art educators have increasingly incorporated new digital technologies into their pedagogy. However, overall incorporated has been slow. Many teachers continue to be frequent users of of technology or avoid implementing new learning technologies in an art classroom. It is critical for art education to embrace the understanding and application of new technologies, and in order to connect coursework with students' live experiences. Using digital technologies in the 21st century, 21st century setup in classrooms does not stifle creativity. Rather, it allows and encourages users to tap into tap into their creative sides or selves. So the implementation of critical educational strategies and interventions that promote student innovation is critical to this. And the way art educators use and integrate technology in the classroom is critical to stimulating students' learning, imagination, and creative purposes. So, of course, different countries, states, and locations, there are various ways on how the adaptation of digital arts took place with their lessons. And we all know that incorporating it easy, we just need to be reminded of our teaching as a teacher that digital tools are not always magical, and that magic is how we teach our students to cultivate their creativity. Generation before us have used new technologies in various forms. Once upon a time, using chalk on chalkboards and pencils on papers were novels and concepts. Putting a boring worksheets and boring worksheets on iPad doesn't make it any less boring. It still be boring sometimes. So exceptional learning can occur with or without the use of advanced technologies, but when done correctly. So it has the potential to increase experiences. If you aren't ready to immerse yourself in the world of technology, look for ways to ease your way. Instead of completely replacing traditional art making methods, look for ways to improve that traditional way. So examine the concepts that aren't working well in our classroom. So could a digital approach helps? Or teaching one point perspective drawing, for example, can be very difficult. But in learning it digitally may make the process easier while teaching the same concepts. So creativity will be the most valuable skill in the future. And what can we do in our classrooms to help our students gain creative insights? And of course, there are different limitations as well in K to 12 education. Okay, so these are the different rules of what we call digital arts in education. Okay, so we have digital arts and tools provide an opportunity to expand creativity in the modern classroom and hope to see more technology and digital tools used in the various classes, and provide opportunities to experience new tools for teaching learning process. And uh, teachers approaches to art education have had to be reinvented, and technology has played a critical role according to a national study conducted by Adobe Education. Okay, so but based from my readings a while ago, both teachers and students value creativity in the modern classroom and hope to see more technology used in their classes. And new technological tools uh, and collaborative resources provide an opportunity to expand on this trend. And art educators can design engaging lesson plans that foster a love of the humanities from a young age. With the right approach, technology can not only be compatible with but also enhance art education. Nonetheless, one of the most important aspect of education is the emphasis on creativity. Then expert says that it is critical to give students the tools they need to express themselves and create their own works of art, whether they use digital tools or traditional mediums like paint or charcoal. So in case like this, so creativity is really important for students because it gives them an outlet for expressing their ideas and putting a personal touch on their understanding of concepts. To get most out of your virtual classroom, make sure you have the proper equipment and setup. And many smartphones and tablets includes HD cameras with sufficient resolution for art classes. Tripods includes HD includes different forms can also help to ensure better visual quality for instruction. Thus, in art classes, teaching is made simple by the use of tools and applications that are necessary for the lessons. Okay, so let us have also the different digital art styles, different digital art ideas based from Google tools. Let us start with this one. I think that technology can really offer many ways for students to be creative when making art. So although there is no substitute for students' dirty hand when finger paints, technology can always provide numerous opportunities for students to be creative and when of course creating an output. So aside from creativity, technology can help our students to explore and learn about novel and engaging ways. So there are numerous amazing technology tools for artists, such as desktop programs, mobile applications, interactive websites, along with all this. And Google offers a plethora of tools that I'm going to present now. So we'll look a variety of Google tools and activity for artists, courtesy of Eric Kurtz. So we have Pexel Art. Okay, so I think that the pixel art is a style of drawing where you make images out of a small grid with limited number of colors. So as you see in the given pictures. Okay, so this is one example. So we have also the Mondrian art with Google tools. So with this kind of art, so it is an abstract form of art that employs a creative layout of squares. As you see in the picture, we have rectangles which are frequently filled with primary colors because Mondrian art is made up of variety of different size rectangles and squares and leads itself to perfectly digital creation. So with Google Sheets, you can merge cells to create rectangles of varying sizes and then fill them with colors using the paint can button. So to make things even easier, I've created a template. So just like this one as you see in the left side. So this is an example template. So we have also self-portraits with Google Drawing. So make a Google Drawing and add photo to yourself to it. Then using the all line and curve tools, create color shapes for all the different parts of your image as you see in the given example picture. So after that, you can delete your original underlying photo, leaving you with a digital clip art style image of yourself. So it is really an amazing outputs if you learned all about these art ideas. And then we also have the mosaics with Google Drawing. Okay, so as you see in the given image, the mosaic project, like the self-portrait activity above, is another creative way to make art with Google Drawing. So rather than attempting to create a realistic version of yourself, you transform a source or image with color shapes such as mosaic tiles or stained glass in this activity. Here are the fundamental steps. So I hope so that we can make use of these steps, make a Google drawing with a black background, then insert the image to be a transform, then using the Initiate tools or the Polyline tool, cover the image with quadrilateral or those processes as we can see, as we can experience if we are about to use this art tool in Google. We have also this one, Google Arts and Culture, and the student can get closer to works of art and historical artifacts than they even could in a museum. Of course, thanks to the Google Arts and Culture, the digital items will give an highly ultra high resolution camera, allowing you to see every brush stroke, letter, and detail. Some of the collections even include 360-degree videos and photos to help you immerse yourself in this really kind of experience of digital arts ideas, which are Google tools. So we also have the curator table. As you see, it is an experiment that creates a massive virtual 3D gallery of artwork that you can explore. You can simply browse with your mouse, or you can use the search feature to find art by specific artist, style, or object. When you find the artwork, you want clicking on it, uh, and it will take you to a page with more information about it. So that is another form of digital art. So now we also have the art palette. So art palette color is a fundamental aspect of art used to convey a mood, style, and ideas. So Google decided to create a color-based search engine. You can use art palette to search through thousands of paintings, drawings, sculptures, and other works based on the colors you select. So the results can be used by students to investigate similarities and connections between the color matching art. Okay, so we also have the auto draw. So it's just a simple and easy to use drawing tool that includes most of the standard features like drawing, filling colors, resizing, adding text, and more. So there is, however, one major twist with AutoDraw. So it includes artificial intelligence to assist you in drawing by recognizing your squiggles and doodles and replacing them with free-made clip arts and clipper style images. So we also have just align. So just align. So although 3D has always existed in the form of sculpture and modeling, most people associate with drawing with 2D. So what if we could draw in 3 dimensions? This is why Google developed the Just Align mobile app. So you can move around and draw in your physical environment using this augmented reality application. Then we also have the different ideas for digital arts that must be taken into account. So we have fractal or algorithmic art. So as you see, algorithmic art that incorporates mathematics. So this method of creating an art through mathematics is known as algorithmic art. So there is a certain type of beauty involved in the culmination of this art form, which is classified as computer and digital art, and is part of the larger family of new media art. So although it is a metaphor for the interruption of the modernity into the presentation of art, new media art is born from the pure art from forms generated during the ancient period with the advent of technology, the factor of modernity transformed into digital art. So we also have the data moshing, another type of digital art. So wherein it's a process in which media files are manipulated to produce the desired visual effects, just as you see in the picture of an artist. So there's a visual effects or images which are actually decoded. The decoded file status allows for the addition of snippets from other media files and as well as editing of existing ones. So this data mushing process is more prevalent in videos than in images. So we also have dynamic painting. So it is considered as the most modern, and as you see, it is a beautiful artwork. So wherein the art or picture was painted by autonomous system, namely a computer, where there was minimal physical labor used to complete the work. And then we also have the 2D computer graphics. Okay, so from traditional paintings and drawings, then it turns to a particular charm about them for sure because of their authenticity and the hard work put behind this kind of masterpieces. So it's a beautiful elephant animations, like an animation. And we also have the computer graphics, which is the 3D computer graphics. We probably heard this several times, the computer graphic, the 3D, while watching different television movies, Netflix movies, or learning about a concept that involves animation. So the 3D computer graphics is a new concept that has emerged as a result of technological advancement and the advancement of the computer sciences and its modified version of the 2D style or the 2D computer graphics. Okay, so we also have the digital photography as one of the digital styles. So these digital cameras use electrical photoreceptors embedded in the camera to help produce the perfect shot. So we all know what is a photography, and we may also use our mobile phones, which is readily accessible, which have to be either smartphone or Android phone. So however, the sanctity in cell phones, it does not have a perfect shots in cell phones. So as a result, professional photographers who are in business for photography typically invest in DSLRs due to their features and the clarity of the pictures that will be taken or that they have already taken. So digital collage, again, another style for digital painting. So we are all familiar with what is the concept of collage because we use it in our projects in school, in our daily lives to edit photos and create a memories with our loved ones. However, just as the definition of a traditional collage differs slightly with this type of digital art. So that's of a digital collage. So that it means instead of putting together several whole pictures, different textures and ideas are taken from various sites and then collaborated under one picture. So that is the use of the digital collage. And then we also have the 2D digital painting. Okay, so digital painting is the heart of digital art right now. So for some artists, and it's also one of the most widely practiced digital art forms of this era. So this era refers to the era of technologically advanced machines that are useful in almost all all digital art operations. 2D art can be done professionally with the help of a computer at it can include a variety of features. So with this one, we also have the 3D digital painting. So there is what we call an extra effects added to the illustration in 3D paintings. So these digital art concepts has become more popularly and widely used than the 2D digital painting model. According to some research, the 3D model of the digital painting has a better chance of catching the attention of, of audience or customers than the 2D model, resulting in increase of consumer traffic if they use a tradition of a 3D, not a traditional 2D images. So we also have Okay, so we have also the what we call the integrated art or mixed medic and hybrid painting, wherein as you see in the image, there's what we call combination of more than one form of art, also known, of course, as interdisciplinary art, that is mostly used in learning environments and to help the audience grasp a better concept, but can also be used for entertainment purposes. And the idea behind this integrated art uh, in the digital world is to combine two or more media to create a single work of art. There is less influence of restrictions in type of art when it comes to the digital environment rather than traditional mediums. So the artist has complete control over how the final product will appear. So it's up to the artist. And then some of these types of the digital artwork are simple to learn while others require more effort to master. But of course, learning about digital art is as much as discovering what you can do with paintbrush in your hand. And all you can need to do is for you to choose one type of digital art and then practice with dedication, and you'll be able to create your own masterpiece in no time. So that being said, so those are the different types of digital art. So because technology is constantly evolving, digital art has taken into a variety of forms over the years. One constant, however, has been artist exploration of digital media as a means of expression, and this is also true for our students. Why not incorporate digital art into our teaching? So it's really a medium that are naturally drawn to. So let's explore some works of digital artists. Okay, so we have different digital artists works in here, and this includes first is Sir Nick Ainley from UK. So as you see in the image, it's a very beautiful digital artwork. So Nick Ainley is used to working with a big name clients like Nike, Starbucks, and National Geographic, and Ainley first became interested in digital art while studying physics. Many of his illustration and graphics take influence from the world of science. Okay, so we have another artist, Mr. Jason Naylor. Then he uses bright colors against rich blacks, distinguishes Jason's uh, work. His work aims to spread positivity and kindness, and Naylor's work can be seen in both traditional and digital mediums, with typography serving as the primary focus. In a recent Instagram post, he discussed how technology, specifically an iPad Pro and Apple Pencil, has changed his workflow and ability to create this kind of digital artwork. So we also have Sarah Ludi. And as you can see, it's a really a beautiful digital artwork. So the work by Sarah Ludi comes in the form of sculptures, websites, videos, animations, and audiovisual and experiences. Her work seek to find the relationship between the virtual and physical world. In some of her most recent work, she explores the world of virtual reality. And then another artist we have Dominic Zolueta is one up-and-coming digital artist who manifests a lot of his art in his interests, from mundane musings like cats and everyday human encounters to idyllic character and comic and anime characters like Cowboy Bebop and Garen Lagann from his childhood reads. Okay, so we also have Raku Ruiz. So indeed, the 90-year-old artist exhibits fine attention to detail, precision in technique, and a broad imagination when it comes to what kind of art they bring to life from his own. A lot of his art is inspired by juxtaposition by Western and Eastern influences, wherein it brings to life by graphic rendering and painterly content. And then we also have Hal Lasko, is known as the Pexel Painter. On his 85th birthday, he was given a PC loaded with Microsoft Paint. And Lasko was a lifelong artist. However, in his older age, his vision began to fail. Creating on the computer allowed him to make art for the rest of his life. Okay, so now, aside from the different works of art of digital artists, we also have some applications that could help us create digital art in our lessons. So it has 1,000 applications that can help us in our creation of digital art. So these are just some of the ideas. So first is the Adobe Photoshop Sketch. Okay, so let us learn simply concepts about the different applications for making a digital art. And Photoshop Sketch is one of them. So it is a drawing application, as we see in the image, that combines the ease and simplicity of drawing on our mobile device with the power of Adobe Photoshop. Photoshop Sketch, when combined with Creative Cloud subscription, of course, allows you to fine-tune images created on your tablet later on your computer. So we also have Adobe Illustrator Draw. Okay, so it is very similar to Photoshop Sketch, but for vector drawing. So it allows, or it is a great drawing application for iPad. Allows you to create vector drawings on the go easily. You can then save them to your Creative Cloud account and fine tune a lot of them in the full program. Okay, so we also have another is the Sketchpad. So it's free drawing application in an Android or any store in our mobile phones to create stunning digital art suited for all ages. So you can easily share your work online and export it in a various format like JPEG, PNG, SVG, and PDF. Sketchpad is available download for also for both PC and Mac. So we also have iPastels. So this is a very good application tools that stimulate the look and feel of real pastels. So you can also use your fingers to blend colors in the application. And then the iPastel is a free drawing application that is especially useful when you are in the early stages of learning and want to improve your skills. So we also have the IBIS Paint. So I am using this application on my phone, and it's free and just need a little bit of subscription. So IBIS Paint, I think, is one of the best drawing applications for Android. It has some unique features like recording your drawings as video and SNS features where you can see and learn from your videos other users have made. Okay, so we also have a lot of applications. There are thousands or even hundreds of applications that could help us in our digital creation. But these are some of the, I think, the one that I'm using. Okay, so we need stylus as one of the things that needed for digital arts aside from the digital gadgets and computers. Okay, so while there are some excellent alternative stylus for student, your students will be able to will be able to what we call okay so what we call so yeah okay so what's happening to the okay so so this is the stylus. In the stylus, students will be able to create amazing work by the use of this if they have one, and they may also create a stylus of their own. But if you're new on your in the into for example you're new into digital drawing, start by experimenting with some inexpensive simple stylus in your classroom. You get what you pay for, but it's a lost cost way to get your students to create digitally. Okay, so let me also share to you the different uh, activities to try out in your classroom or specifically in your art room. That is to merge traditional art making with digital drawing. So this is just I think, a challenge or a test. And when it comes times to experiment with new techniques, students are frequently enthralled by the results. Exploring watercolor techniques, for example, is a rewarding experience. But we sometimes don't know how to take those process explorations a step further. And a good solution is to photograph a traditional art making process and then enhance it with digital drawing. And then let us also teach depth and space to our students. So we have to understand the foreground, middle ground, and background, where is a critical for creating depth in an artwork. It can also be the weakest part of composition when students don't truly understand how to create a space. So the use of digital drawing application teach this concept is revolutionary since students can work in layers. They can visually see how those overlapping and changing the size of objects can create a difference in their artwork. And then let us also try to bring everyday objects to life for our students. Okay, so our students require something to refuel their creativity on a regular basis. This personification activity is ideal for doing so. Begin by photographing an everyday object and then bringing to life with digital drawing. This is an excellent opportunity for students to experiment with mark making and become acquainted with the drawing application they are using. And then sometimes we have a hard time teaching perspective. So teaching students to draw in their perspective isn't always the most enjoyable aspect of being a teacher in arts. So understanding how to use a ruler is lost art no matter how hard we try. Choosing to introduce your students to perspective through digital drawing will save your sanity and make the process appear much simpler to your students. Because many applications have functions to convert drawn lines to straight lines, you can still enjoy the beauty of perspective drawing with the assistance of some digital aid. Okay, so digital drawing instruction should not be used in place of traditional drawing methods. It can, however, be used to teach the same concepts in a more time efficient manner. We want our students to be innovators, innovators. So our students will almost certainly carry a phone or tablet with them at least as they grow older. If we teach them how to use these tools for art making, they will be able to continue their creative endeavors for the rest of their life. So let me, before I will finish my talk, let me just give everybody a lovely message about technology, wherein technology will never replace a great teachers, but in the hands of great teachers, it's transformational. It's just simple meaning technology is just a tool in terms of getting the kids or the students working together and motivating them. The teacher is the most important. And that's all. Thank you so much for listening. And I also want to say thank you to the references that I have for my my presentation. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your
Thank you, sir.
outstanding presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Sir, we will come back in our question and answer session.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Dear participants, let's move to our quiz competition session. After a short video clips, we'll come back to our question and our quiz competition. Dear participants, today our quiz code is IGP quiz and the link is in our comment box. We'll start our quiz competition shortly. So please click on www.slido.com and the code is IGP quiz. We will pick your name from quiz, so join with your full name, which will directly pinned on our certificate. Now we have 47 participants already joined with us. Let's start our quiz. Now ready? Our first question is video image manipulation is used in some digital arts. Is it true or false? 96% of our participants give the correct answer, and the answer is true. On our leaderboard, Anna Mary Joy and Mercado leading the first position. Now, next to the question. Our second question is, for a student who struggle with traditional drawing skill, digital art should be an alternative form of expression. Is it true or false? Again, 96% of our participants give the correct answer, and the answer is true. On the leaderboard, now Anna Maria Joy Mercado also leading the first position. Let's move to the next question. Our third question is, a digital art, which is abstract form of arts that employs a creative layout of square and rectangle, which are frequently filled in with primary glow. Pix art, Mondrian arts. Only 39% of our participants give the correct answer, and the answer is Mondrian arts. On the leaderboard, Carol is now leading the first position. Our next question is, a digital art wherein a combination of more than one form of arts, also known as interdisciplinary arts, 3D digital printing, hybrid printing. 59% of our participants give the correct answer, and the answer is hybrid painting. On the leaderboard, Carol Cipillo now leading the first position. Our next question is, the heart of digital art in this era of modern time, digital painting, photography. 79% of our participants give the correct answer, and the answer is digital painting. Our next question is, it is a clear, concise, confused structure and backup by evidence. Its purpose is to aid the reader's understanding, academic writing or journalism. 76% of our participants give the right answer, and the answer is academic writing. On the leaderboard, Carol Cipillo now leading the first position. Our next question is, it is the production and distribution of reports on the interaction of events, fact, idea, and people that are the news of the day and that informs society to at least some degree, academic writing or journalism. 98% of our participants give the right answer, and the answer is journalism. Now, Nicodem Espiro now leading the first position. Our next question is, consisting entirely of dialogue and stage direction, script writing or novels. Scripted is the right answer, and one person of our participant give the right answer. Our second last question is to be a good writer. It is not necessarily to read and observe the surrounding. Is it true or false? 80% of our participants give the right answer, and the answer is false. Nicodemus Mirol now leading the first position. Our last question is who is not an creative writer? Johnny Manahan, P. Delos Reyes. Only 39% of our participants get the correct answer, and the answer is P. Delos Reyes. Congratulations, our top 10 participants. On the leaderboard, Janelle Mirinda leading the first position, Gina Lil also leading the second position, Nicodemus Miro third position, Carol fourth position, and the following thank you all of our participants who are join our quiz competition. After a short video clips, we will come back to our question and answers. Welcome back, sir. Good evening,
Good evening,
Doctor.
sir.
Good evening, sir.
Hello, good evening,
Good evening, sir.
everyone.
Hello to everyone. It's question and answer session time. You can send your question in our comment section and make sure to put it one by one so that the speaker would understand it well. And don't forget to mention the name of the speaker. We have now three speakers. Sir Dr. Anno also joined with us. So participant don't hesitate to ask the question. Our speaker also ready now to answer the question. Our first question is what is the best strategy in teaching creative writing and in arts designing, especially in this time of pandemic?
Okay. So, one of the best strategy that we can use in this time of pandemic, if we're teaching creative writing and art, is that we give our students a time to express themselves. Okay, do not force them. At the same time, during this time of pandemic, they can think different subjects around them about the experiences behind this pandemic session and what are the stories that they can create based on this situation.
Um, for me, okay, for me, sir, all about the question. Teaching, when it comes to teaching art digitally, uh, presents a significant challenge for the majority of the different high school and SPA teachers or design teachers for arts, but enables the clear identification, the relationship between art, technology, and creativity. And I believe that the best strategy is to assess the education providers in making the appropriate choices about which technological approach are most effective in enhancing students' creativity. It's either in creative writing or digital art. The different tools which can be benefit to the kids or children by, of course, developing their technical skills as well as to consider what is required to help them develop their social interaction skills, uh, which may in turn improve their intellectual ability. And this, I think, they demonstrate that the the strategy is effective, not just only for creative writing, but also for the different art forms.
Mm.
In addition, we can encourage students to share their experiences, to share their knowledge about the topic uh, in in a creative way, wherein they can use some words, or we could encourage them to read, and while browsing the Facebook or the internet, they can gather some information that they can use or they can add in their creative writing. And especially in digital arts, we could encourage students to be creative, like mixing the traditional art and the digital arts. By, for example, if they are doing that, they can take a picture of it while mixing for example, the leaves and the digital arts in, for example, in the television or in the laptop or in another cell phone. So we can have different strategies wherein we can grab or give opportunity to our students to share their knowledge and their skills.
Thank you, sir. Our next question from Evelyn to Sir Mike: is digital art can be considered a real art? And thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir, for the question. Digital art, as we simply say, that it is an artwork createdly similarly to drawings and paintings, but through digital technology, which is often through devices like tablets and computers. And I think that the digital arts is, of course, a real art, and that's it. That's the question to that. And I think that we all value creativity in our classroom, and we all hope to see that there is what we call more technology used in our classroom, and new technological tools and collaboration resources that can provide an opportunity for a lot of students to expand on this trend, which is the digital art. So we educators, of course, can design engaging lesson plans that foster a love of the modern digital arts. So of course, this is art. This digital art is real, so it's also significance in education for to adapt new approaches to engage teaching learning situations and value creativity in, of course, in this modern classroom and in these pandemic times, and that every learner and teacher will love education because of their different digital arts output, while also supporting, of course, the traditional means of art making, because that is where we began. And I might say that digital artwork is a real artwork. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Our next question is to both speaker: how to register our digital art and creative writing of our students to the intellectual right property.
How to register?
Okay, there's a lot of groups that we can engage in if we are, for example, we are engaged in creative writing or digital arts, that we can submit our works, and then they have this form that we can fill up so that our works can be registered on the group so that nobody can use that or replicate that as a form of plagiarism.
Yes. Okay, so there are different online sources and right software, and of course there are different uh, individuals to be to register our works to avoid that what we call plagiarism, and of course to always have that we call rights in the property of the creator.
In addition
Thank
to for creative writing, so those students can post their write-ups in the internet, especially in Facebook. So there are some groups wherein, for example, here in the Philippines, we have uh, poem of Stella, like that. And another one, we can publish our articles in a newspaper or directly post it in social media so that everyone can see what did you write or what are those things that you created.
thank you, sir. Our next question is how creative writing empower and strengthen teacher effectiveness amidst this pandemic.
Okay. How creative writing empower instant and teachers' effectiveness amidst pandemic? So, as teachers, we can learn on the experiences of our students based on this situation, the current situations that we have this pandemic. There's a lot of experiences that our students can share to us as well. So, we can use these experiences to create a more elaborative uh, writings. So using these experiences, we can create different ideas, different stories that we can share to our students. Actually, that I think is the one of the most effective way of empowering and strengthening our profession as teachers. We have to learn also to our students experiences amidst pandemic.
Um, for if it was even aligned to the digital artwork, so I think that the healing power of art, it's either in creative writing or in digital art, of course, has been recognized by our student artists around the world, and of course, not just only in the Philippines, but it is now an emerging as an evidence-based therapeutic modality for any kinds of emotional illnesses or feelings. It's like depression or any other anxiety. So it could help that the different art forms like creative writing and digital artwork could help really strengthen the students emotional feelings, and of course it can also strengthen teachers effectiveness amidst pandemic because it can also help their to boost their creativity and their being resourceful.
In addition, thank you for Ma'am Davy Masaga for your question. So this actually, so Sir Mike, Sir Arnold Agligor, and our group, um, we are the creative writers and illustrators in our region. So we are empowered and strengthened during this pandemic. Wherein we have to make our own modules to give more knowledge to the students. And for this one, I can also say that um, during this pandemic, it it enables teachers to study more to be more creative, to make modules um, more, what do you call this? Um, I guess more creative, more I forgot the word. Um, uh, innovative, like or interactive. So that's why I can say also that this, even if we do have this kind of pandemic, those teachers strengthened and they are empowered to give what are their knowledge and skills uh, in schools. That's all.
Yeah. In addition to that, during this pandemic and these experiences, we can use and utilize this experience to create poems, create stories that will ease the feeling of burden from our students or our colleagues. So we can empower them, we can share our positive thoughts for them amidst pandemic. So in this time of situation, we need to hold on to one another. Even though that we are experiencing this type of a situation, there is a silver lining, and that is the power and strength given us by creative writing and digital arts.
Thank you, sir. Our next question is, what would you advise and tips for individual, especially for beginner level, to compose a generic creative writing which can be reached and accepted by various group, example by social media?
Okay. For those individuals who are neophyte in writing, um, just be yourself. Express what you want to express. Be creative. Okay, there is no boundary. Imagination is your limit. As long as you are responsible with your wordings, you are responsible with your writings. So I think there's no issue on that. Okay, as long as we're giving ourselves in writing or doing digital arts and be responsible in what actions we are doing or words that we are using in our artworks or our writing. So I think that is good.
Okay, so for if it's aligned to digital arts, the questions. So I think that it could be helpful for a beginner to, of course, to really start with the basic one, to draw with pen and paper first, then start by, of course, sketching your ideas on paper to get an idea on what your design will you look like. And you can use different sketches in your digital art or for inspiration to map up your ideas. And then, of course, there's what we call practice makes progress, and I do believe with that. We always want to work with progress, not just only perfection.
Mm-mm. Aside
That's my
from
tips.
that, yeah, yes, sir. Aside from that, for beginners, we have to read a lot of books. Okay, read a lot of stories, and then somehow you can uh, use their writings as your inspiration. At the same time, create different subjects, or what I said earlier is that everything that comes into your mind, you have to write it. Write and write and write, and then you, after writing all of your ideas, then you can revise, and then how do you call this? You have to test yourself as well, how far you can go in writing. So it's not as a first time writer, it's not always perfect. So you have to practice. Practice makes perfect. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all you for joining with us, and thanks from IGP for joining with us,
Thank you so much,
especially
sir.
Thank you so
Sir
much,
Dr.
sir.
Pramod.
Thank you so much, Sir Arnold.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, sir.
We
Thank you,
hope
Sir
we'll meet
Arnold.
together in another session in IGT platform.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Dear participants, our today's program is Creative Writing and Digital Arts, and the code is IGP 4863. And the certification is also given in our comment box. Without code, no one can claim the certificate anytime. And also, without an account on our website, you can visit, but you cannot do anything functional. So you have to create an account to get the certificate. Thank you very much. Will our next program tomorrow morning session at 9:30 a.m. Bangladesh Standard Time. Thank you very much.